Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, we of course have to talk about the price because Bitcoin today went below $113,000. But this should come as no surprise because just in yesterday's podcast, I highlighted that potentially Bitcoin could go down to $109,000, even $106,000, and the bull market support will still be intact. But doesn't mean it has to go down there. And what we're seeing is that all of the CME gaps have been closed for Bitcoin. So that's a good sign. And the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is currently at a neutral. Now, it could go into fear, but I don't think it necessarily has to, especially as Bitcoin on the daily, its RSI is near the oversold zone, or I should say, not too far away from it. It's about like at a 39. Many of you know by the textbook, 30 and below is oversold. So let's see what Bitcoin does. But we're getting there quicker than expected, and that's a very good sign. I do believe August is going to be a big month for crypto based on how global liquidity is performing. And it's not just Bitcoin escaping the overbought zone, going to near that oversold zone. Total 3 is also doing the same thing. The S&P 500 also on its way down. And if you look at XRP, also doing the same thing in addition to Ethereum. So all healthy corrections, sentiment being reset, CME gaps closing. It's setting us up for the next move because the macro thesis is still in play. And of course, we're seeing the inverse to all of these assets going down, and that is Bitcoin dominance on the rise. In addition, USDT Tether dominance on the rise as well. The DXY also on the rise. So all healthy stuff happening here, folks. Nothing to panic about. Now, there is some narratives that are starting to float around. For example, we are seeing that China has officially banned cryptocurrency trading, mining, and much more, as though they haven't banned it like 12 times already. It's like this bipolar thing from them. I don't even know if this news is legit or somebody short selling the market, putting out fake news. Honestly, it could be that because it's like, what's new here? They've been doing that back and forth, but we know Hong Kong, under the control of China, is embracing crypto, stablecoins, and much more, right? They have launched ETFs and all of that. And we're going to talk later about some recent regulations they put out around stablecoins. So Hong Kong, owned by China, is the testing ground. And I believe China is going to open up ETF trading, crypto ETF trading in mainland China. So this news, you're going to see it circulating and it's going to be presented as though it's something new. But my OG subscribers, how many times have we seen this? So at this point, it's like, whatever. But like I said, guys, global M2 is the leading indicator here. So we're still on track. I want to make sure you guys are not panic selling because you're going to see a lot of people who are shorting the market coming out and saying the top is in again. They did this with the tariff crash. And they do it with every macro news. Oh no, there's a war. Oh, the top is in, right? It's over. You'll see those comments start appearing again. They're going to start calling me idiots and things like it, right? Because they're very emotional about the markets as well. There are people emotional about the markets, but we don't want to be emotional. We want to be smart and educated about the facts and the data. And the macro thesis is still in play, just like I was telling you guys in the tariff crash. Remember, I was absolutely right there because I was just looking at the data. And I'm saying that because, again, you're going to see people in the comment section and on the social platforms who are trying to shake you out, trying to get you to sell because they're shorting right now. But don't get shaken out, guys. The whales are buying. On-chain data shows that. So just be patient. Step away from the market. If the price bothers you right now, don't look at your portfolio. I haven't looked at my portfolio over the past few days because I'm like, there's no point, right? It's down just like it was down in the tariff crash. And now it's down a little bit after rallying out of that hole. So once again, just be patient. Nothing to worry about here, guys. And here is further confirmation. This might be the biggest signal. Jim Cramer yesterday tweeted out, I always despise both August and September, just tough months to make money. Folks, inverse Cramer. You do the opposite of this man. We've seen it time and time again. There's even an ETF, inverse Cramer, right? So he's saying August and September are going to be painful, tough months to make money. I think the inverse is going to happen, and the charts and global liquidity and all these things align with that. So this is a massive signal right here, folks. I love this. Incredible stuff. Jim Cramer, man, you make a lot of money just go doing the opposite of what this guy says. It's so funny. And sometimes his calls, right? You don't see the opposite of what he's saying happen immediately. Sometimes it happens after a month or 2 months, and then you look back and you're like, this guy was telling you to sell and trying to put fear in you, and yet the market did the opposite of what he said. So it's just so funny. Folks, quick word from our sponsor, and that is Proppy. Proppy's leading the charge with putting real estate on chain. You can buy and sell homes and apartments and much more on Proppy's platform using crypto. The platform is powered by blockchain. They use Coinbase for the crypto escrow service. And Proppy's been at this since 2017. They're a licensed Web3 company, and they facilitated over $4 billion in transactions. Now, I'm a Proppy token holder. I have been since 2018 when I discovered them and realized the puck was heading in the direction of tokenization and all assets on chain, and blockchain being used to disrupt the world's largest asset class, which is real estate. And I took a bet, and that bet is paying off. And even billionaire investor Tim Draper is a big investor in this company. So they put deeds on chain. They've created NFTs for homes and much more. So if you'd like to learn more about Proppy, go to proppy.com. Link will be in the description. Now, we got some news here. City Ventures to load up on more SUI with $500 million deal as shares fall 11%. So we're seeing more companies diversifying the assets they hold on their balance sheet when they adopt a crypto treasury strategy. So this particular company is doing SUI, but we've seen Bitcoin, of course, ETH, Solana, XRP, and even Litecoin. There was one company doing Litecoin as well. So the finance firm's announcement on Friday came shortly after raising $450 million in the week, which was used to buy its first batch of 76.2 million SUI tokens worth $276 million. Folks, do you see what's happening here? This is incredible. These publicly listed companies buying a ton of crypto, putting it on their balance sheet. And as I've said many times, if they're taking cash on their balance sheet and buying some crypto, taking some of that cash and doing it, I'm fine with it. When they raise a lot of debt, that's where you get into bubble territory and a lot of risk. So we'll see who survives the bear market, but this is incredibly bullish because this type of buying and news is going to drive up the price of the assets, of course. Here is a quote from the chief investment officer, Stephen McIntosh. The equity line is intended to give us the firepower to scale our position as the only SUI treasury on the market with an official SUI Foundation relationship. We are positioned to capitalize on SUI's possible growth while scaling SUI per share through an institutional grade wrapper. This brings us one step closer to streamlining public market access to a next generation blockchain. So very bullish for SUI. Really a large amount of SUI that's being bought here, and the trend continues. The crypto treasury strategy continues, folks. This is incredible stuff. Here's another example. NASDAQ listed DevvStream Corp buys $10 million worth of Bitcoin and Solana as it looks to tokenize carbon credits. So I love the diversification. Some firms are, holding more than just Bitcoin. They want to do a basket, so this is really great. The firm previously raised $300 million via senior secured convertible notes to purchase crypto. Here's a quote from CEO Sunny Trin. Combined with the planned expansion of our credit facility, we believe we are strengthening our balance sheet and positioning DevvStream to execute on tokenizing high-value environmental assets at scale. So, folks, again, some sort of bubble forming here, but it's going to pump our bags, right? And while we're in the bull market. So this is why, if you are planning to take profits, we'll need to make sure we are highlighting the top zone or identifying it and take our profits, because we'll see who survives the bear market. And, as Warren Buffett has said, when the tide goes out, we'll see who's swimming naked, right? Now, the Hong Kong news I mentioned earlier, Hong Kong stablecoin rules kick in as it looks to establish crypto credentials. Now, again, who controls Hong Kong? China. So the news, I think it's fake news from earlier. China has banned crypto, like they haven't a million times already, right? So we're seeing large jurisdictions and countries all embracing crypto, launching legislation, putting the guardrails in place, and Hong Kong is certainly in the race. As mentioned earlier, they have launched ETFs. They've opened up financing for crypto companies, and pretty much it's become one of the crypto headquarters of the world. And I say headquarters, right, plural, because I would say there's more than one, but Hong Kong is certainly a big one in the Asian region. So this is really great. The Special Administrative Region of China has taken steps in recent years to strengthen its position in the industry en route to realizing its goal of becoming a hub for crypto and Web3 in Southeast Asia. It established a regulatory framework for crypto exchanges more than 2 years ago and started consulting on stablecoin rules in 2023. Applications for licenses can be submitted from now for the next 3 months. According to the Hong Kong Monetary Authority guidance published on Tuesday, firms that have submitted an application will be allowed to continue while their request is being considered until January 31st. So, folks, I hope you see what's happening here. Everybody's in the race to try to get their stuff set up to grab as much market share because there's money to be made here. And the rules are being put into place by these major jurisdictions, which will bring in tons of capital. And just even recently, Andrew Sheng, China Banking Regulatory Commission chief advisor, he went on CNBC talking about this, that, Hong Kong opening up for crypto, stablecoins, and much more. So, man, it's just amazing what's happening. So, guys, I'm bullish. I know some of you are going to find it hard to believe. Tony, how can you be bullish? The price is down. Because I'm looking at the macro, I'm looking at the data. I'm not emotional about the price. And we want to make sure that we have our thinking caps on and we're looking at this logically and reasonably. Obviously, there's no guarantees. No one has a crystal ball. We're at least forming our thoughts and thesis around data versus emotions and gut feelings. What is the charts? What is the on-chain data? What's the macro telling us? It's still saying we are in a bull market. Like I was telling you guys in the tariff crash, we're still in the bull market. So don't get shaken out. Make sure that you got your head on straight here because the whales will mess you up in this market if you don't have the macro view. If you're just looking at the micro, they will rip you apart and, essentially talking about your portfolio and get you on this emotional roller coaster and much more. I've seen it for many years. I've been here for multiple bull and bear market cycles, guys. I've been here since 2016. So speaking from experience. All right, folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Check out my newsletter. It's 100% free. Be sure to sign up. Check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital, and my course at mycryptocourse.com. All of the links will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching and listening, folks. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.